YouTubers, this is Josh and John with Josh and John Sports, and here we're going to talk about the Ravens visiting the Denver Broncos Week 1 of the 2015 NFL season. John, it's an exciting game. We're both, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but we're both calling Ravens.
Yeah, we are.
And that is not popular right now. I've seen some statistics out there. Broncos are favored to win this game, but me and John both have reasons for believing that the Ravens are going to upset the Broncos. And this is one good thing about Josh and John Sports. Sometimes we agree and disagree, but we don't disagree just for the sake of having two sides.
No.
In this point, at this area, we both agree that we think the Ravens are going to upset the Broncos, and we may have different reasons for believing it, but we believe the same thing, and we're not going to argue that. So that's the good thing about what we're presenting here. John, what's some reasons you think the Ravens are going to win this game?
I think a lot of it is Peyton Manning, honestly. I don't think he's the quarterback that he was. Honestly, and believe me, I don't wish this on anybody. Life's too short for this, but I don't think he's going to finish the season this year. I think it's going to be a Favre year for him, kind of like Favre. His last year he got hurt. I think Peyton, this is his. I don't think he's going to end the season. And by the way, I don't hope that though. I don't ever wish for anybody being injured.
I love Peyton Manning. I've always been a Peyton Manning fan. I remember when he threw 6 touchdowns on Thanksgiving Day when I was a lot younger.
I remember when he broke the record by throwing too many interceptions too. We were sad that day.
Yeah. But as much as I absolutely love Peyton Manning, I can't believe that the Colts made such a good move. I don't think anybody on the Colts questions the move they made to get Andrew Luck. I mean, Andrew Luck is at least a top 2 fantasy quarterback.
Okay, well, let's get back on the point, Josh. I mean, one thing too about Peyton, he's not mobile. He's very one-dimensional. That's the thing about Russell and honestly even Rodgers. These guys, if they have to run, they can run.
Yeah.
And now if a quarterback can't run, he becomes somewhat of a liability for the team. I mean, granted, I don't think Flacco runs that much either.
I don't think Brady runs that much.
Yeah, so I mean,
but I think a lot of it is Peyton's health and everything. But one of the key factors to me is not really Peyton's health, but just how bad he played in the preseason. It was really bad, and they said there's a lot they need to work on. They may get to a point where they're really sharp during the season. I don't think it's going to happen in Week 1 in the Mile High City, John. I think that the Ravens are going to come in, they're going to be more prepared, and they're going to take down the Broncos.
And they know what to do and how to win in Mile High. I mean, they've taken away a Super Bowl ring from Peyton Manning.
They know.
Well, actually, it was not the Super Bowl, but it was, the
game before the Super Bowl.
2 games before Super Bowl.
Was it 2 games?
Yeah. But they were at Denver, and
that long
John
throw.
Fox threw the game. I mean, they had 30 seconds. They could have, I think they had 1 timeout. It was 1 or 2 timeouts. I can't remember, but they could have ran the ball once, called a timeout. I think they had 2 timeouts. It was something like that. They could have ran the clock down, taken a couple long shots, and tried to get Prater to kick one, and they took a knee and risked it to the coin, which I don't know why they did that. But anyway, that's several years ago. That being said, Harbaugh knows how to beat Denver at the Broncos, and he's going to be just as comfortable doing that as he did several years ago.
And another thing, I like Denver's new coach, former coach for the Texans.
Yeah.
I have trouble pronouncing his name.
Kubiak.
Okay. I like him, but I know that with any job, when there's a transition, it's always difficult that first week.
And really, Peyton's a bad quarterback to have transition with, because this is one of his last years, and there's just everything's got to count. And I think the transition's better than staying with John Fox. You're just gonna at best make the playoffs every year. You're not gonna win a Super Bowl with John Fox.
Now, I'm not thrilled with the Ravens team. I mean, they have a good running back in Forsett. They have a good defense. I think an improved secondary bracing to play the Broncos. But I mean, Steve Smith's getting a little old.
I think for Steve Smith, though, his age actually works to his advantage. Some players' age works to their advantage.
I don't know if it works to his advantage because back when he played the Super Bowl with the Panthers, he was just incredible. I mean, he was like
I still think
the receiver.
For him, I think he actually
he's
will
the
feed off of
he's
age.
the now Antonio Brown of that day. He's not that anymore, but he's still a really good receiver.
Yeah, I think he's still I don't see him he revamped the Ravens when they lost what was their speed running quarterback that went to San Francisco. I mean, not wide receiver. Who's the guy who was wide receiver who went from Ravens to San Francisco when they won the Super Bowl?
Torrey Smith?
No.
I have no idea.
I can't remember the guy's name.
Well, let's not worry about it.
Okay, but anyway, he went and the Ravens didn't even make the playoffs. And they brought Steve Smith in. The guy was a veteran guy, and they won with the Ravens, did well.
Oh, Anquan Bolden?
Yes, Bolden.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, Bolden.
Bolden's not what I consider a speedo. That's kind of what threw me off.
Okay.
I mean, he's like he's a possession receiver. He makes insane catches.
Okay.
I mean, he is fast, no doubt.
Okay.
But that's what kind of threw me off. I'm thinking Torrey Smith.
Okay.
Mike Wallace, who's not even on that team. I'm thinking speed guys,
Yeah, sorry, I guess I did it.
Deshaun Jackson, anybody?
Okay, yeah, he's not in that league. Sorry, I don't know why I thought that. Anyway, point being said that, they really, Steve Smith stepped into that role, and the team was a different team when he came
I think that he definitely...
So, I don't think his age is going against him.
I think he's definitely a better receiver than Torrey Smith.
I think he's going to make
for them.
I think he's going to make this last year of his count. I mean...
I'm not just a lover of the Ravens, but I think that the Ravens are going to come in there with a solid game plan. Harbaugh's a good coach. I really believe that. Flacco's a good quarterback. They got good players on the team. Sometimes they're not the most exciting players, but they got a really good base, and I think
they always do. They seem to always keep that base, and it's all about that base. But
and I think that the Ravens are going to win. We've said that multiple times, so I think it's been called, and we'll see what happens. If me and John are wrong, we will...
I think that the other thing, too, that we briefly talked about this, I think they are going to get out coached. Not that Kubiak's a bad coach, but Harbaugh's very comfortable with Baltimore, and I think he will use that advantage really against Kubiak in this first week when they're trying to figure out everything. He's going to already have Harbaugh's already going to have it figured out, so...
All right, so me and John calling Ravens.
Okay, thanks
Enjoy
for watching,
the game, guys. Sorry, Broncos fans.